You know what I'm getting really sick and tired of, guys? Every time I pop in a fucking YouTube video onto my fucking computer. Okay, that sounded stupid. But anyways, every time I go on YouTube and there's some new game coming out, everybody's got to fucking hype the shit out of these games with every tiny little detail they can uncover. Or if there's a new DLC coming out, oh my god, brand new DLC, leaked images, blah 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 blah. And this is just there's another guy who made a video on like the Destiny DLC, and I've already talked enough about Destiny. But is anybody else tired of these people spreading around misinformation or information that really isn't as hyping as it should be? Like, for example, when Dark Souls 2 was coming out, you had all those big YouTubers going, to E3 and being flown out there. And the same thing's happening with Bloodborne, but Bloodborne was actually good. But anyways, the same thing's happening with Dark Souls 3 right now. And, all these people are, oh my god, guys, it's so hype, it's so hype. You remember when Scholar the First Sin came out? Everybody was hyping that game. Oh, there's going to be a new sneak mechanic. It wasn't in the game. Oh, the enemies patrolled out. It never happened. Oh, well, now you can have this happen to you. It never happened. First of all, I get it. For those of you big YouTubers out there, which you probably don't even watch me, but for those of you who probably might watch me, or for those of you who don't understand, I get it. They're flown out there by the game companies or whoever, and they're there to look at the games and hype the games up, and half of the reason is they don't want to tarnish a game that they love the most. Whenever you're playing a game that you love a lot and it's not what you expected, you try to push that away. You try to hide it and act like it's not there. And that's a big problem with a lot of these bigger YouTubers. But then, you also have that whole, well, they flew me out here, they gave me an exclusive interview, or they gave me exclusive footage, or they gave me this, that, and the other, and it's like, I understand that. If I was given a chance right now, if I was flown out to Bethesda right now and I saw Fallout 4 gameplay, all right, and it was cool, like it was badass gameplay, but there were still a few problems. I understand that there's certain things that, if you sign a piece of paper and it says you can't say this, that, or the other, first of all, that's just wrong. If there's a problem with a game, you should be able to tell the community before it happens. I mean, if they fix it, okay, they fixed it. But if it's a major problem, like what happened with Dark Souls 2, how the beta completely changed from the finished product, and how they used to have the beta screenshots on Steam, but then the game released and they changed it to those shitty-ass looking screenshots, from the shitty-ass Dark Souls 2 product we fucking got. Yeah, I don't forget that from software. And I don't forget Scholar the First Sin being a big pile of shit, too. God damn, I'm tired of that shit, man. I had to unsubscribe to like 2 or 3 of the big Dark Souls people because I couldn't trust what they said anymore. They're the same people who told me, oh yeah, you can sneak by enemies in Scholar the First Sin. No, you fucking can't. Oh, you can do this in Scholar the First Sin. It didn't fucking happen. Oh yeah, Dark Souls 2 was supposed to be like this. It didn't fucking happen. Oh, well, Bloodborne was probably going to come out on the PC. It's not fucking happening. I mean, if I can't trust From Software, and I can't trust the YouTubers, and I can't trust this person or that company, what's the point of even listening to these people? First of all, stop listening to these people, guys. They hype up the good things, and they downplay the bad things, which in reality, a lot of the bad things turn out to be really bad things when the finished product comes out. Case in point, the people who love Destiny. That shit happened to you guys. You guys got all hyped for that game. People were saying, "Oh man, it's gonna be the greatest thing ever." It came out and it wasn't. Oh, then people said the DLC was gonna be great. That came out, and I'm seeing from YouTubers who actually, really are into Destiny that the DLC is boring as shit. And the main game, there's no point in playing the main game because it's boring as shit. Are you seeing a pattern here? This fellow YouTuber, he said that you should do the opposite of what most people want you to do. You should take the good things and push them to the side as if they're not really that big of a deal, and take the bad things people say about games, whether it's a brand new game coming out or whether it's a DLC coming out or something, and, really take all of that with a huge grain of salt. And I completely agree with that. We are so, I remember when GTA 5 was coming out. I remember all the things that people would say, oh, it's going to be so dark out there, you're going to have to use your headlights to be able to even see, oh, this thing's going to happen, oh, that's going to happen. And even with the new, the newer versions on next-gen consoles, none of that shit happened. Over half the things that people were hyping up from just trailers and tiny little bits of gameplay, none of that shit happened in GTA. All right, it never happened on the next gen version. It hasn't happened on PC. Well, unless you get mods, but that's besides the point. And I highly doubt half the things that people hype up these days about game. See, that's why I don't watch any of those videos that go way too deep into the game. If you know what I'm saying, like they take every little detail from trailers and make some big thing out of it. Like, ooh, this might happen in Fallout 4. You see, I saw that tiny little thing in the background. Maybe it's gonna happen. I'm gonna hype this up really big and make your expectations way bigger than they used to be. This is the same thing as game companies, taking like the BioShock Infinite. Like I stated in BioShock Infinite, the original trailers looked great, and then you get the final product, and it's nothing like those trailers, and you're highly disappointed. You know what I'm saying, guys? It's not as big as something like Aliens Colonial Marines, where they completely show you one thing and say everything's going to be in there, and then you get the finished product, and it's nothing like that. Sure, sometimes it kind of happens like that, like with Dark Souls 2, where the beta, which in my eyes, betas are basically the damn near completed game at that point. But anyways, it's not as bad as that at this point. But guys, please, if you don't listen to anybody, listen to me. Listen to what I do. I take gameplay, I take trailers with huge grains of salt. As if I didn't already, okay? And the only way I trust anything, besides maybe like Bethesda, okay, and maybe even Valve, the only way I trust something is when I finally get it in my hands and say to myself, okay, this is exactly like I thought it was going to be, or I even get surprised and say, wow, this is much better than I expected. Because of all the bullshit that's happened in the last few years, all the bullshit moves from companies, all the bullshit moves from the YouTubers who tell us all this stuff and hype us all up, you can't trust anybody anymore. Hell, don't even trust me. Use your own judgment, but judge these things. Don't just take whatever they tell you, because that makes you a fucking sucker, guys. And nobody likes to be a sucker, except whores. But you're not a whore, I hope. Anyways, guys, this is Super Snow. Leave your thoughts in the comments. I'll see you guys later.